ただ一人迷い込む旅の中で
Spice and Wolf has plenty to do with wolves, but almost nothing to do with spice. Hello everyone, Armageddon Ninja here, and now it's time to review Spice and Wolf. Now before we get into this review, I'll just have to be clear that I am reviewing Season 1 and Season 2. I'm not going to give any spoilers to anything because I don't think reviews should be showing any spoilers, so that's why I'm going to keep it hush-hush and try to keep all the good and juicy stuff safe and locked away from you. But now, without further ado, let's begin with this review. The story of Spice Wolf takes place in a time where there's not anything really technological. It's just horse and buggies, a lot of people farmed, and that type of stuff. Our main character is Kraft Lawrence, who is a merchant, and he finds a girl in his wagon, and she turns out to be Hollow the Wise Wolf. Don't be deceived by her looks. She may look young, but she's actually 600 years old, and she can definitely hold her own beer. Hollow has been the goddess of a harvest for this town for a long time, but they have become very stable and don't really need her help anymore, so they started to really not believe her anymore. She has decided to go back to her homeland, which is in the north, and she also wants to travel up there, seeing different places to see how the world has changed after so many years of just staying up in this town. And so she makes a deal with Lawrence to travel with him up to the north. And the story revolves around these two characters on their journey up to the north, and they go through different towns. There's not a lot of continuous stuff that goes through the series. It's just that they go from one town, have a little adventure going on, and then they go to another town and they have another little adventure going on over there. And while this is happening, you see them both kind of bond with each other and progress with their relationship or whatever they have while they're going up there. In the anime, you can see Lawrence and Hollow are starting to have a little bit of a crush on each other, and they start even flirting with each other a lot of the time. Now, I don't really mind it in the first season, but in the second season, it's pretty clear that they both know each other to like each other, and I don't get why they're being all flirty blah 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 while they could be a couple already. And I know it's weird because she's a god and she's also part animal, which brings a bestiality side to it, which is gross, but I just still don't understand why they don't just tie a knot and it just be in a relationship. And the story doesn't just take place around just a romance type thing going on between our two main characters. It also shows a lot of like economic stuff going on. Because Lawrence is a merchant, there's a lot of like different stuff and things he has to think about, money and stuff, and it's a lot to take in. It's pretty clever and smart how they do it. You just have to pay attention to like every word that they say, otherwise you're going to be lost for the rest of the season, because I know I've kind of dozed off a little bit when they were talking about economy and money and stuff. And because it's not my cup of tea, that's kind of why I dozed off a little bit. But either way, I liked how they used it. It was pretty clever how they used it, because a lot of the times they use that as like a way to get out of some pinch that they were in. I also like the setting that they're in. Old time, it fits with the story that's going on, of course. It's kind of different than what anime usually does, either modern times or some mystical world or even the future. This is different. It takes place a long time ago. Even though there's like mystical, even though there's obviously gods, it's sort of believable. It's sort of a realistic world. And the dialogue is different. You will notice when you either read the subtitles or listen to the dub that they talk differently. And you know, at first I was like, why is it like this? I don't understand. But then I realized, since it's a different time period, I can get why they're talking a little differently, and that's why some of their jokes might be a little different, or just their conversation alone. Even though it might sound weird now, that's how they talked in the past, I think. Alright, now let's talk about the characters. Lawrence is a merchant, as I've talked about before, and he wants to own a store himself, as any merchant would want to. He's a calm and collective guy, and he does things very professionally, and he tries his best at his job. He just seems to be a normal guy. It's not like he's super handsome or super smart or anything. He's kind of a normal guy, and that's how you can kind of relate to him a little bit, which is very important for a character. Hollow is sort of different. She's a bit eccentric. She likes to play with Lawrence and do different stuff with him. And of course that's natural because she's been stuck in one town and she wants to look around and do stuff. And she is pretty clever, hence the name Holo the Wise Wolf. Despite her tiny little figure, she is a very heavy drinker, and she likes to eat a lot of stuff.
Stupid potato!
What did you say? I only have one problem with Holo, and that is that she likes to make Lawrence a bit jealous by flirting with other men, sort of. Why do you need to do that? It upsets him, it upsets me a little, and it especially upsets me when Lawrence, when he's like talking to just a girl normally, Holo takes it a bit personally and she gets upset about it. But she does the same thing. No. She actually means to make him jealous while he's just talking to another girl. For being named the Wise, she's not exactly being very smart by being jealous about this stuff. Yeah, he's just having a normal conversation, and yet she's done all this different stuff. Other than that gripe, she's a great character. I mean, I don't mind her. I think she's a wonderful character. I can see chemistry between the two characters. It's just that, as I said when I was explaining the story, if they just got together, because you know they like each other, they know they like each other, they just kept flirting with each other, and that bothered me a little. But I don't mind to be an expert about romance. It's not like I've ever had any relationships. Alright, now let's talk about that animation. Animation's okay. It does what it does. It doesn't try to do anything that would extend what the animators could do. The story is set in a time in the past, so there wouldn't be a lot of stuff to really animate. Nothing like technological or constantly moving. I hope you get where I'm at. But I'm just saying that there has been a lot better animation, but I have seen a lot worse also. And character designs look pretty good. Every character is a little slimmer than usual, but that's because it is in the past time when people weren't as full as they could be today. Now, we wouldn't be really talking about the music unless if it wasn't for two songs, particularly in Season 1. The opening song is absolutely fantastic. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's a little emotional. And that's what an opening should really do to you. It should introduce you to something spectacular by being spectacular itself. It's an absolutely wonderful song, wonderfully performed by both the singer and the people who play the instruments. Now the second song, it's weird. It's the ending song for Season 1. And it's just so, I don't know how to explain it. It's cute in a way. I don't know how to explain. This Japanese singer is singing a song in English, but it makes absolutely no sense. But it's just charming in a way that you enjoy listening to it. In conclusion, we have a story that's well told. It does a good job at taking place in the time period that it was in. Characters are great, they have chemistry, but I wish the chemistry just went into a different direction than I thought it would be. Animation is good, and music is fine. Now, before I rate the show, I have to tell you that the ending ended a bit abruptly. It was like the studio had a deadline, and since seasons usually just have 12 episodes per season, they kinda had to cut it off right here. And that's how it was. Now, I don't know if that's how the manga was, because it was based off of manga, but I honestly wish there was a bit more because it ended way too soon. I felt like it really should have gone on a bit more. Time to rate this. Alright, now let's see here. Now, if you don't know already, because this is a new channel that I've gone on, my rating system, I do a thumbs up, thumbs down, or anywhere in between. So, here we go. We're going to give it that. It was a fun time to watch. It's not like it really wasted my time or anything. It's not exactly on my top 10 list of greatest animes ever, but it was fun to watch. And I know there's people out there who think it's the greatest romance anime out there. Now, I haven't seen a lot of romance animes, but I don't really get the romance in here because I explained that their chemistry is good, but they don't exactly stick it together. But to each their own. So if you like that kind of stuff, you know, go ahead and see it. Or if you like furries, which are half human, half animals, go and check it out. If you're into that. So there you have it. Like if you like the video. Duh. Subscribe if you want more. Follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and now I leave you with the outro.
Seven up on a witch's tree, with 7 seeds to plant inside of me.
知らん